Welcome to another episode of the Valorant Tips and Tricks Sent by You series, a series where I show Valorant tips and tricks that you guys send to me. Like always, I'll be giving away a battle pass to a random submission, and the lucky winner of this episode is Dead Tricks. Don't forget to submit your tricks for a chance to be next episode's winner. Now let's stop the rambling and talk about the first trick. Let's start with the nice combo you can do with Sage and Jet. On Sunset, you might already have seen this wall. Place your Sage wall over here, then camp on your wall. If the enemies are pushing market, you can look through the window. It's a cute little trick, but it could be way better. And that's where your teammate Jet comes in. Instead of standing on this side of the window, let your teammate jump on your wall on the other side of the window. It's way more common for the enemies to push B than middle. Simply close the door and then easy kills for Jet. But wait, there's more. This combo is also very strong. If you notice that all the enemies are pushing A side, push up mid with Jet and let her jump on this small little hut in the middle. And then while Jet is jumping, place your wall underneath her. When you do this, Jet still has one updraft left, so she can use her ultimate, then updraft and she can spot so much of A side. It's a very strong combo, my friends. But of course, only use it if you know for sure that all the enemies are on A, otherwise you might push into an enemy in middle. And while we're talking about aggressive defender side pushes, here's one for Omen. On Breeze, when the barriers are just going down, place a smoke down in middle. After that, walk through the doors and teleport on the top left. If you do this quickly, the enemies might not notice it, and then you can look over your smoke towards the attacker spawn. A successful round looks a bit like this. After you get a kill, of course fall back, because there is a chance that the enemies will push elbow later that round. About Omen, here's a cool fact that you might not know about. Back in the day, you could clip the Omen smoke in every wall. But a few months ago, they fixed it, and now every time you try to clip your Omen smoke in a wall, it will just fall down. No more one-ways on every wall, sadly. But wait, there are some exceptions, and that's when a wall has some sort of pillar at the corner. Take this wall on Breeze, for example. If I try to place my smoke over there, you see a green triangle, and then it doesn't fall down, and you have a nice one-way. MrLowlander, that's such a bad one way, nobody will push it. Okay, yes, I see where you're coming from if you think like that. I'm usually also not a big fan of one ways, but with this one there could be a higher chance that the enemies will try to push, because for their perspective it doesn't really look like a one way. And that's because the smoke is pretty high, so you give the enemies a lot of vision. But luckily, not enough if you are standing on this platform, or even better on these boxes. Let's move on, take a look at this clip.
Back soon. Fake teleport.
So getting poor bro.
I'm back.
Yeah, nothing much to say about this one. All I can say is, in a 1v1, if you have the Yoru ultimate, play around time and easy peasy win for you. Let's stay on bind and talk about the teleporter. In last episode I mentioned that if you dash through the teleporter with Jet, you will lose all your momentum as soon as you get through. But apparently there's a certain technique that you can use to keep your momentum. According to Hazard, you need to go diagonal through it. I tested it out and it worked. You will go to the side of the teleporter. One problem though, you'll be facing the side of the TP, so you can't really surprise an enemy standing in it. So to counter that, you can dash diagonal through the teleporter while facing backwards. This way you will face the enemy standing in the TP and easy peasy kills for you. However, this trick is extremely situational and inconsistent, so you're not gonna use it a lot, but it's a cool fact to know, I guess. And while we're at the teleporter, did you know that you can throw the gecko flash from outside of the teleporter and the door will open for you? Okay, now wait. Before you're gonna say, MrLowlander, you already showed this trick. This teleporter door mechanic is so strange. Without joking, every act there's one ability that can open the door from outside, and each time that an ability gets fixed in the patch notes, there's another one that comes up that out of nowhere can open the door again. In the past we had Race Boom bots, Yoru clones, Killjoy alarm bots. They all got fixed now, but I guess this act it was time for the gecko flashbang. And about glitches, I think this next one is the strangest glitch I've ever seen, because I have no idea how this works. You see these lanterns on ascent? If you try to place your chamber traps on top of them, you won't be able to do it. However, if you first place down your teleport, use it on the same spot, and after that crouch, then certainly you will be able to place your traps on top of the lanterns. I just can't wrap my head around it. How does it work only when you teleport and then crouch? This honestly feels like cheating. You know, back in the day on GTA, when you needed to do a certain combination on the stick and then you get infinite money? Well, this is that version only then in Valorant. Of course, after you place down your trap, you can move your teleporter around to another spot, but I think this one is bug abuse, so I would not recommend to use it, because there's a chance you might get banned. But luckily you won't get banned for this next trick. If you ever play Harbor or Viper on Breeze, make sure that you put your wall a little bit in front of this box over there. If you accidentally use your wall on top of the box, you create a wall for the enemies and they can teleport on these boxes and kill you from behind the wall. A bit like Omen did in this round. Well played.
Enemy down.
Let's move on and talk about Neon. When reading Discord, I saw this message of Fred. Apparently, when Neon gets stunned, she will keep the same fire rate when using her ultimate. A cool thing to test out, so I hopped into the practice range, shot the bot with her ultimate normally, and then stun myself first and then shoot the bot. And the conclusion of this experience, sadly, her fire rate will go down, even though it doesn't look like it. But as you see in the background, if you get stunned, you will do a bit less damage to the bot. However, we can learn something from this that you can use in game. If you get stunned and you use the Neon ultimate, you will be way more accurate than if you get stunned and use the Vandal. This means that when you're in a nasty situation, over here in Vent Room for example, you know that all the enemies are gonna push you. You could decide to stun both of you, the enemy and yourself, and then you have the advantage when you peek because your ultimate is way easier to hit. Now let's take a pause from the trickies and go to the trick shots. Which one is your favorite? This nice spray transfer?
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
This lucky kill? Honestly, this guy tried to release his teammate Reyna, but certainly got an headshot.
One enemy remaining.
Here we have a lucky double kill. And how the heck did this guy get a knife kill over here? What? Okay, that last one is my favorite. One more time. Back to the tricks. On Breeze, go to the edge of the barrier over here and do a little step to the left. After that, aim at the bottom of the third brick. Sounds complicated, but once you see it, it's very easy to remember. If you aim over there with an Outlaw, Operator or even an Odin, and you shoot as soon as the barriers are going down, you will exactly hit the head of the enemies if they are standing next to the barrier. A very sneaky trick to get a kill at the start of the round. This next one isn't really a trick, but more a cool fact. But did you know that some bodies change color if you change the graphic settings of your game? The Spellfire body, for example, on high graphics, it's fully purple, but if you put your settings on medium, then it turns green. Pretty strange. Let's move on. Ever consider doing an aggressive Cypher setup? You can do one over here on Icebox. Place your cam in this corner and then your tripwires next to the barrier. Then stand behind this container, put a smoke on yourself, and as soon as the enemies are walking through, activate your smoke and kill them through it. It's a sneaky trick that Caveman used. Aggressive Cypher setups are good to use so now and then, but really don't underestimate the defensive ones. If you don't destroy the tripwires, they are so strong, just look at this clip.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, let's go to Ascend now. You know that one Sofa arrow that almost everyone is using? This one over here to aim main to get early info? Well, by now I think most players will expect this, so if they want to push A, they wait a little bit outside of main. Well, here's a way to counter those players. It's such a simple lineup, even my fish brain won't forget it. Go to this corner over here, aim at the top right of the building, then shoot your arrow with one bounce and full charge. It will land on this building over here and spot everyone who is standing outside. Even the enemies that are standing over here, so if you want to go for those wallbang Odin plays, you still can do that. Now look at this clip.
Gotta go.
It's you and me.
Jeez, that trick's going wild. All I can say is that it's a risky trick, but it's a cool one, so well played. And let's do one more clip of that tricks. It's so satisfying when the neon bunny hops are working. Let's talk about Sage now. If you're standing in market, you could place your wall on top of these boxes and make your way to the lever room, stand on the boat, and look at that, you got a nice one way for if the enemies are pushing through middle. I think it's most effective with an operator, but you could also use a Vandal. And the last thing you have to keep in mind is that you need to have control over A main. You'll be standing a bit in the open, so maybe let the teammate push it or something. Or let the teammate place a smoke down, of course, that also works. And while we're talking about Sage, some tricks don't have to be complicated. On Ascent, place your wall behind the generator. Make sure that it doesn't stick out at front and that the enemies don't see the back of it, and then you'll create a nice head glitch spot, especially good with an operator. You think the enemies are pushing, fall back behind the generator, your wall will block off the right side and try to get 1 or 2 kills on the left. And this, my friends, this is the end of the episode. Shout out to everyone who submitted the trick. I hope you learned something and I see you guys in the next one. Peace.